Welcome in to Outkick the Show. I am your fearless leader, Clay Travis. I hope all of you are having fantastic Mondays wherever in this fine country or this world you may be. My wife left on Saturday, so let me just tell you the last few days and how I've been able to realize that you single people have nothing to do with yourselves at all, and it kind of makes sense to me why Twitter is always so angry. It's because single people are just sitting around on social media all day trying to pass the time. So let me start here. On Saturday morning, wake up, all the family's here, normal day. My 7-year-old has got flag football combine tryout. I don't know if you've ever been to flag football combine tryout, but there's a whole field full of kids, and they're putting them through 40-yard dashes. They're running routes. They're catching the ball. They've got the flags on, and they're trying to make each other miss in like 10-yard areas. And there are all these grown guys who are going to be coaching. One of them will be my kid's coach over there, like taking notes. They've all got these numbers that they put on their back to identify them by number as opposed to by name. And so that's where I start off Saturday. So then things start to go a little bit awry. My wife says, meet me at the gas station. We're going to transfer the one kid, and she's leaving to take them all to Michigan. So we get to the gas station, and I've got to be honest with you. I got real issues at the gas station. I have driven off like 4 times in the last 5 or 6 years with the gas pump still attached. Most recently, it was when I was driving back from Atlanta, and it was late at night, and I started to drive off with the gas pump still attached, and it spiraled off, swung up, and knocked out the whole rear window of my car. So I had to drive all the way, 200 miles or something back from Atlanta with no back windshield at all. This was a couple of years ago. It's freezing. It was like December. It was awfully cold. And so while I'm there getting my, and this was before, most of them have the retractable thing now. So most of them don't rip the entire thing off. I don't know what it is. It's become a big issue for me. I think it's because when I'm parked at the gas station, I definitely go check my phone while I'm standing there pumping gas, like responding to emails. Sometimes I walk in to go to the bathroom or whatever, and I just forget to pull the gas pump out because it's standing there. You set it on auto and just fill up without having to worry about when it's going to stop. So I'm there at the gas pump, and I leave my credit card in the gas pump. And I don't realize this until later when I'm out. And so I drop off my kid with my wife. They leave, and I get back to the house. And I have had kids now for a decade. My oldest son is going to be 11 in January. So it's been a solid decade of pretty much there always being a kid around. Okay? Always being a kid around. I get back to the house, and it's completely quiet. Now, my house, not the kind of guy to brag or draw attention to yourself, almost 8,000 square feet. 67, I think, is the total square footage of this house. That is a big house for one person to be sitting in the house all by yourself for an entire week. I mean, there's nobody else here. There's nothing else to do. So I'm sitting in my house. I'm like, all right, what am I going to do today? I've got a full week where nobody's around. So I get out my phone and I start texting my guy friends. I'm like, hey, do you want to go out and get some drinks tonight? All my guy friends have young kids. Everybody that I can think of that would be able to go out and drink at night has got like young kids, or like it's Saturday, I'm on vacation, like different parties. Nobody can go out. So my one friend is like, hey, I can meet you at 3. I can meet you at 3. We'll go out. If you're familiar in Nashville, he's like, we'll go out somewhere on 12 South. We'll just sit on the patio and we'll have drinks. And my thought at that point is, what I'll do is I'll sit on the patio for like 3 hours drinking, and then I'll have a grand idea of how to spend the rest of the day. All right, this is me solo in Nashville with no obligations, no responsibilities. My book is done. I don't even have that much work to do, right? So I sit around all day. I go work out. I go to the gym. I watch the British Open all day Saturday, hop in an Uber, and head to downtown Nashville, or close to downtown Nashville. Get there, meet my buddy. We drink for like 3 hours. And then he's got to go to a family barbecue. And by family barbecue, I mean like he's going to meet some other couples, and there's like 8 kids there, all under 2. All right? So I'm trying to decide as it gets close to the time when he has to leave and I realize I have nothing else to do I just get in the Uber drunk after 3 hours of day drinking and just go home by myself? Or do I go and find something else to do solo? I'm not the kind of guy. I understand some of you out there are like, hey, I will roll in like to a bar or someplace solo. I don't do solo stuff. All right, I'm just not a solo guy. And maybe if I'm at a hotel bar and I'm traveling, like I'm in Washington, D.C., I might get a drink by myself at the hotel bar because that's really what the hotel bar is made for. I'm not going to roll into a place in Nashville solo and just be there. Several reasons. Primarily among them is there is a 1 billion% chance that there is going to be many people who are Outkick fans that are there, and I'll just end up random guy hanging out with people that he doesn't know, and I don't want to be random guy hanging out with a bunch of people he doesn't know on an entire night. By the way, a side note, Saturday I'm working out, and I'm in the gym, and as I'm in the gym, and I'm doing like curls, because you don't get triceps and biceps like these by accident, what I notice happen a lot now is people will recognize me and like their eyes will recognize me and they'll sometimes say hi, sometimes they won't. So I just say hi to everybody. I literally acknowledge just about everybody during the course of the day who looks at me for any length of time at all because I'm like, I'm actually a pretty nice guy if you want to come talk to me. So this guy is standing next to me doing curls and he turns to me and he might hear this now and he says, dude, and he takes out his earplug and he's like, dude, this is so weird, but I'm listening to your show right now and you're standing beside me and I feel like I'm in a weird kind of, Matrix universe. And I was like, well, that is kind of weird. I'm not a podcast guy. I don't wear headphones. I'm not a music guy. When I work out, I just go natural ambient noise. Not a headphone guy, not a podcast guy. I don't do any of that stuff, all right? I'm old school. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. So he leaves. He comes back. He's like, man, I got to let you know. I had to turn your podcast off because he was like, it was so freaky to me to be listening to you talking while you're standing next to me doing arm curls. So that's the answer about like why I would not want to go out solo and just roll into the bar. There's a 100% chance people were there. In fact, when we're sitting on the patio at 12 South, there are guys next to us who are fans of Outkick. There's 3 people on the patio, and the 3 guys next to us are Outkick fans, all right? So I don't want to do that, all right? So I tell my buddy, I'm like, hey, can you text your wife and see if I can go to this kids party and just hang out with you guys and keep drinking? I swear to God, this is 100% true. This is what I do when I am not working. Now, my wife texts me because she finds out that I'm just hanging out with, I'll get to that in a sec. So my friend's wife texts back and she's like, I don't know, I think it's going to be pretty weird. And then my friend's like, oh, you're good. Just come on. Going to a stranger's house for their kids' party, all right? Just showing up. My friend and I have been drinking for 3 hours, and they don't know me at all. And so, and by the way, I had to make a decision about what to dress, what to wear. I didn't just write the whole story because I was like, do I want to go shorts and flip-flops and like a T-shirt? But what if I decide to keep a day going? So I went with jeans and boots and like a button down. So I was dressed like I was in that hybrid zone of you're going out at 3 o'clock, but do you dress like you're not going out at 9 o'clock? Or do you dress like you're going out at like, noon? I didn't know what to do. I was thrown for a complete uproar there. So we get into an Uber and we roll up at the kids party. And I swear to God, we get out and there are like 9 kids. 2 of them are completely naked. They're all 2 and under, just running around in this big front yard. And I walk in and obviously my friend's wife and kids are there. And I'm like, hey, I'm Clay. I'm just coming to your barbecue. My family's out of town, and I don't have anything at all to do. So they're like, oh, okay, do you want a beer? So I just start drinking at the house. Now, the positive here is it turns out that there are like 5 couples there, and I actually know 3 of the couples. One of the couples is Barton Simmons and Haley Simmons. Haley used to write back in the day for Outkick. They partly met because of Outkick, and now they have 2 little girls. Barton does national recruiting analyst for 24/7. So we're all just kind of sitting around. I get on my phone, and my wife is texting me. And my wife is in Michigan by now because I'm worried. I don't know about you guys, but whenever my wife drives, I'm terrified that she's going to kill whoever's in the car with her. So I have our nanny is also in the car with her for the ride up. And so I'm getting constant updates to make sure that my whole family is not going to die while my wife is driving all the way to Michigan. Should they make it there? And then my wife texts me and she says, wait a minute, because she's talked to some of the women. She said, I heard you went to a kid's party and that you're just hanging out on Saturday night at with a bunch of like little kids that you don't know, just like drinking beer at this random barbecue. And I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm doing. And by the way, the guy who's got the party, big Mississippi State fan, they know who Outkick is, but they've never met me before. So I've just rolled right into their house to their kids' party. And so my wife texts me, and as part of the new radio deal, I was like, everybody's like, you got to buy something new for this new radio deal. Like when you get a new deal done, like you got to go out and celebrate. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to buy. And my wife is like, you've been driving this shitty old car for like a decade. Just go buy a car. So I walked out to the Land Rover, and I just walked on the Land Rover lot, and I was like, I picked out the most badass Land Rover that is on the lot. It's like, a six-figure car. It's blacked out. It's like a V8. It's a ridiculous car. And I'm not even a car guy. And I was like, yeah, I'll take that one. So I just recently bought this ridiculous, huge Land Rover. I mean, it's a ridiculous, it's got four-wheel drive. It's a ridiculous vehicle, all right? I've only owned and purchased for myself. I've never purchased a brand new car for myself before. I won one back when I was in law school in the Titans field catching footballs. Like I had to go out and I had to catch a 25-yard punt and a 40-yard punt. And so back in 2002, I literally won the contest where you win an SUV. So I won a Mercury Mountaineer in the halftime contest of the Tennessee Titans Stadium on Monday Night Football. Okay, so this was back in 2002. Prior to that, my parents had given me like a decade-old Toyota Camry to drive. And then I bought a used Mercedes sedan. That's the only cars I've ever had. So I just walk in, I buy the, like $100,000 plus car, and immediately my wife hears me talking on the phone about how if I were single, I would just take my car and I would just drive it up to all the fancy places in Nashville, and I just called it a pussy wagon. Because I'm going to be honest with you, this car, there is 100% chance that there are lots of 20-something girls who would bang me just because they would see me in this car. Like, I would pull up at the valet stand, and I think that girls would just get in the back of the car and have sex with me there because this car is that nice. That's the truth. So my wife says, wait, I heard you took Uber and you didn't even take the pussy wagon out? I was like, well, I can't go solo out to the bar rolling around in the pussy wagon, all right? I mean, I'm telling you right now, if I were single, I don't even know that I'd need a downtown apartment. I would just have sex in this Land Rover all the time. People would be like, who is that? Is that Jay-Z? Is that Nas? No. Wait. That's Clay Travis. He has an internet website, and now he just drives around in $150,000 Land Rovers all day, pimped out, blacked out, like ridiculous vehicle. He has an internet website, and he wakes up at 4 a.m. to talk about sports. So I've got no idea what to do. I'm sitting there, and I'm on my phone, and so I decide, you know what? Earlier, I texted the Goldberg brothers, because I don't know if you know the Goldberg brothers, but they basically run the whole city of Nashville. They own like 50 different bars. And so I text Max, who's an awesome dude. I'm like, hey, what's going on tonight? Where are you going to be? And he's like, well, we're going to meet up at 10 at this place. I don't even know where this place is. He's like, we're going to meet up at 10 at this bar. And like, he names the bar. And I'm like, I've never even heard of this place. I'm not even sure if I can get into this place. So I turn to my buddy and I'm like, man, I got a big bridge here between when you stop drinking with me at 6 to when I could theoretically go meet at 10. But then this is where all the cool people are going to be out at 10 o'clock, and I'll roll in and I'll know somebody there. So I'll be out at the coolest place in Nashville, hanging out with the coolest people. And look, let's be honest, I'm maybe the coolest person ever. And since my family's out of town, I've got no obligations. Nobody's going to wake me up at 6:20 in the morning and ask where their Cheerios are. Like, there's no kids. There's nothing going on. And so I'm sitting there and I'm continuing to drink and I'm having a pretty good time. Then I start thinking, man, I'm pretty tired. And then while I'm sitting on the porch, all Barton Simmons' wife Haley wants to talk about is what's Bobby Bones like. I need to send this to Bobby Bones because she grills me for like 20 minutes about Bobby Bones. So like just any possible question you can imagine about Bobby Bones. How great is Bobby Bones? How cool is Bobby Bones? How much time do you hang out with Bobby Bones? Do you think I would like Bobby Bones? Like all these different answers. So after a while, I'm sitting there and I'm continuing to drink and I'm like, okay, this party's breaking up. I'm not with this party. All these kids are passing out, and they're not passing out because they're drunk. They're passing out because they're like 1-year-old, 2-year-old. There's naked kids running around everywhere, and everybody starts to leave. And so eventually it's me and like my buddy and then the host of the party, and we're just kind of sitting on their porch. And I'm like, oh, they probably want me to leave because they don't know me, and I'm here without kids, and I'm just drinking beer on their porch. And so I'm like, oh, I should call myself an Uber. Then I call myself an Uber, though, but it's only 9 o'clock. And I'm like, well, I don't want to show up somewhere an hour before I'm supposed to. All right? And so I'm sitting there like, what should I do? Like, this is my big weekend. My family's gone. I've got no obligations, no responsibilities. And I get in the Uber, unclear of where my destination is going to be. And then I'm like, you know what? That's what I realized. I realized a couple hours before that I didn't have my credit card. And so I'm like, I'm going to have the Uber take me to the gas station to see if I can find my credit card. And while I'm doing that, I'll decide whether or not I want to actually go out anywhere else or if I want to just go back to go to bed. So I go to the gas station. Uber, I'm like, I'm not sure what gas station it is. Just a random gas station like on this road. I'll know it when I see it. So my Uber guy pulls in and we're hanging out at the gas station for a while. This is my wild weekend. I walk in. And I'm like looking for my credit card. They don't ask for any info. They don't ask for anything. I swear to God, this is true. I said like, hey, it's a random BP. I'm like, hey, I think I left my credit card in here this morning. They're like, oh yeah, that happens sometimes. And they hand me a huge box full of credit cards. I mean, I felt so good about this. There must be 50 of them. And so I'm just scrolling through all these credit cards there. And I see mine, but I pull it out and I'm like, okay, this is mine. And they're like, okay. And I just turn around and walk out. They didn't even ask me for ID. So you could just walk in theory, to this gas station, be like, hey, I lost my credit card. And then they just hand you a box of all these different credit cards. You don't have to give them a name. You don't have to give them anything. And so I just take my credit card. I walk back out. And I'm like, hey, you know what? It's getting kind of late. I'm kind of tired. But I'd like you to take me to the grocery store now because I've had a bunch to drink and I don't want to get DUI. And so he's like, you want to go to the grocery store? And I was like, yeah, could you take me to the grocery store now? Then I'll get you to take me home. So my Uber guy takes me to the grocery store. And I go into the grocery store. I never go grocery shopping, but I know that I've got nothing in the house because my wife doesn't ever shop for me. She shops for the boys. There's nothing to eat. So I leave my Uber driver. I roll into the grocery store. And I don't know how to buy stuff in the grocery store. It's late now, it's probably 10 now. And I'm walking around. There's nobody there. I mean, 10 o'clock to me is late now. And so I just go straight to the sushi aisle. And I just buy a bunch of sushi, and then I buy a bunch of beef jerky. And there's nobody actually cashing people out, so it's all the self-checkout line. So I go through the self-checkout line with all my sushi and my beef jerky, and then there's like a guy standing at the back of the sushi and the beef jerky thing, and I think it's like Costco, and I have to hand him, and he's looking at me. So I think, oh, he thinks I'm trying to steal this stuff, like I'm going to hand it to him. So I walk over to him and I hand it to him like it's Costco, like he's going to check it. And he looks at it and he's like, oh, I don't need to see your ticket. I'm just a big Outkick fan. And I was like, well, it's nice to meet you. I'm really a big sushi and beef jerky fan. And it's Saturday night. I got a wild night planned. So it's great to meet you. So I go back home. I sit down on the couch. I eat my beef jerky. And my sushi, which is an incredible combo if you've never had it before. I don't know how many people have ever eaten beef jerky and sushi, but this is how I'm deciding to spend my Saturday night. It's 10 o'clock. Nothing's going on. Nobody's texting me. Nobody's tweeting. There's nothing going on. And then I get in bed and I watch Westworld and I go to bed. All right, that's my Saturday night. That's my wild Saturday night. The next day I wake up. I have nothing to do again the next day. I don't know how to fill an entire Sunday. This is the entire week. Like, I don't know what to do. I've got no work to do. I try to do some work. I try to sit around and do some stuff. There's nothing to do. So I sit around and I watch the whole British Open, and then it's over, and it's only like 2 o'clock. And so I'm like, what the fuck do I do now? There's still like 7 hours of light left. So I go and I sit down and I watch like 6 episodes of Westworld. And by the time I'm done with that, it's still daylight and I don't know what to do. I haven't left the house since I came back with the beef jerky and the sushi. And I'm like, is this what single people do? I don't understand what you single people do now. I've been a decade and I've forgotten what people without kids do. So I'm like, I can be doing anything that I want. And so I'm like, what in the world left is there to do? So I just go to bed. And so that's my weekend. So all this time, a lot of you are going to be married guys, and you're going to be listening to this, and you're going to be thinking, man, I wish my kids and my wife would go out of town. But the truth of the matter is, you're not going to have anything to do if that happens. Now, I'm going to go up on Friday to meet my family, but I have absolutely nothing to do. My wife was like, well, you should go golf, but I don't want to golf by myself, and I don't want to golf with strangers. And let's be honest, I really don't like golf very much. I like being out on the golf course with people while I golf. The actual game of golf, it takes for fucking ever. And I'm out there for like 5 hours just sweating bullets, sweating my balls off, taking a bunch of different swings. I enjoy the social aspects of golf. The actual game itself takes way too long and isn't that much fun unless you gamble or unless you're drinking. That's the secret of golf. If you're just out there like playing golf seriously, I think you need a better hobby. I'm going to be honest with you. If you just go golf, it's not that much fun. Like, I would rather go in my backyard and shoot basketball by myself than I would rather go out and play golf by myself. I've got double little league basketball goals in my backyard now for my kid to set on 8 feet. Like, I can go do slam dunk competitions by myself, which also is a little bit weird, but I would rather do that than golf by myself. So anyway, that's what I did on Saturday and Sunday. So for everybody out there who's married, man, woman, husband, wife, whatever it is, and you think to yourself, you're going to do so many cool things when your family is gone for the week, you're probably not. And this, by the way, is why, and I'm not kidding about this, my buddy Chad Withrow at The Zone, he knows like 3 months in advance when his wife is going to be out of town. And I swear to God, it'll be like, I'm not even making this up, it'll be like February 17th, all right? February 17th, I'll get a text from Chad Withrow, and it'll be like, hey, June 4th. What are you doing on June 4th? I'm like, fuck, it's February 17th. I've got no idea. He's like, my family's going on vacation on June 4th. Just see if you can come out and get some beers with me. I swear to God, this is what married guys have to do because you're not out on the town that much. That I will get a text from Chad Withrow like 3 months before his wife is going to be out of town trying to lock in going out to drink with me on June 4th or whatever the hell day it is. I swear to God, if I check my phone right now, Withrow texts me like 5 times a year. 3 of them are 4 months in advance. Let's go out drinking on Saturday night tweets. I'm telling you right now, the married guys, you got no idea what to do. And I make fun of Withrow for that. But he knows that so many other married guys have got kids. And so it's impossible to get any group together. People are like, oh, when's the last time you had a big social event? I can try to take guys out for a steak dinner. When we negotiate and set that thing up, it takes like 6 months. If I want to get guys together to go out in December right now, I need to email them right now and be like, all the guys are lawyers. They're all busy. They're all traveling. Hey, can you guys do December 14th? Can we lock in December 14th to go get steaks and beers? Can we make that happen right now? Put it on the calendar 6 months out. So all you single losers out there, I don't know how you fill your time. I clearly have no idea. I have no idea, but even when my family is gone, I got no idea what to do. So that's what I did on Saturday and Sunday in Nashville solo with nothing else going on. All right, a couple of other stories. Is Tiger back? I think Tiger is going to win. I think Tiger is going to win a major. I thought the ball that he struck on hole 10, where he put his entire back into it, he looked like Tiger Woods of days of old when he was strong enough to be banging Perkins waitresses in the parking lot outside of Perkins. That's a back you can rely on. And I'll swear to God, when I saw Tiger hit that ball on 10, I was like, I wonder who he's laying the pipe to right now. Because that was when Tiger was at his best. When he was laying the pipe to all those porn stars and everybody else. I tell you right now, I swear to God, that's what I thought. When I saw him go full backswing from out of the bunker at Carnoustie and put it on the front end of the green, I was like, Tiger is laying the pipe again right now. I don't know how many porn stars he's banging, but I've been saying this for years. The minute Tiger stopped banging like hookers was the minute Tiger lost all his mojo. It would have been like JFK back in the day. If JFK wasn't banging all those hookers, we'd have gotten blown up during the Cuban Missile Crisis. People are like, oh, it's a shame. I wish JFK could have been a faithful husband. I disagree. I think America would have gotten blown up if JFK hadn't been so cockstrong confident from all the hookers he was banging back in the day during the Cuban Missile Crisis. I'm telling you right now, I think that 99% of golf is mental. And Tiger Woods, as he's standing over a big shot, needs to be thinking, you know what? I don't know what's going to happen on this shot, but there's 25 hot chicks that want this pipe as soon as I finish this round. So it doesn't really matter what I do with it. I'm telling you, it's mental. That was what Tiger Woods did. He went to his happy place, and his happy place was banging hookers and porn stars and Perkins waitresses on the side. It took him out of worrying about golf. People are like, how does Tiger Woods focus so much? Because he's thinking about the chicks he's going to bang when he's standing over the ball. I guarantee you, Tiger Woods thinking about who he's going to bang. And I told you this back, remember when the naked pictures of Tiger Woods came out? And Tiger Woods came out and he was like, hey, I don't know who leaked these photos. I can't do my Tiger Woods voice, but it's the most ridiculous voice ever. I don't know who leaked these photos, but it's abhorrent. I can't believe someone would violate my privacy right now. But if you want to go to the front page at tigerwoods.com, I think it's important for me to make sure that we trace these photos through watermarks. So I have put the front page of tigerwoods.com, just a big close-up of my gigantic penis. Again, I'm horribly offended that someone would share these photos. I don't know who did it. I want them to go to jail for the rest of my life. If you have any idea where these photos might have come from, they came from your phone, Tiger. That's you standing in front of the mirror. You took the photo. It's not like there was a telephoto lens involved and somebody's secret. Like you took, no, Tiger Woods is like, if you know where these photos could have come from or you have any help in identifying them at all, I'd encourage you all to go to tigerwoods.com where you will see my gigantic penis. And also I would like to report again that I have a $200 million yacht, that I am a billionaire, and that I am single, and I hope that we can catch whoever did this. And I said right then and there, you go back and listen to the tape, I said, I think Tiger might be back. I think Tiger might be back because everybody just found out that the reason why Tiger Woods doesn't have 2 putters in the golf bag is because if Tiger Woods loses his golf putter on the round, you know how you like always leave your putter on a green? That's another reason I don't like golf. You're like 3 holes after or 2 holes after you left the club behind, you got to turn around and drive back, or you got to ask if somebody found your club or whatever. Tiger Woods doesn't care 2 golf putters because he knows that if he loses 1 putter, he just pulls his penis out, finishes with the penis. That's Tiger Woods. And that now everybody else knows that too. So I'm telling you, that was when I started to think Tiger Woods is back. Tiger Woods is back. Also, a couple of other things. Tebow's out. Going from one extreme to the other, Tiger Woods, who would have sex with anyone that walked, Tim Tebow, who still has not had sex with anyone who talked. Our Lord and Savior, hallowed be his name, Tim Tebow, is out with a broken hand. This, I hate to say it, this is what happens when you decide to play baseball. You get all these crappy, ridiculous interviews. Explain this to me. Explain this to me. Tim Tebow can carry a football in his hand and get hit by gigantic men everywhere, all over the field in the SEC and in the NFL. And he never breaks his hand, all right? He's nothing covering his hands. He's holding the football, going in for touchdowns, holding the ball out with 2 hands, getting decked by all the most talented defensive players in the history of football, all through the SEC, all through NFL. Never has an issue with his hand. He puts a bat in his hand and he swings, and somehow he hurts himself. I don't understand it. This is why I feel bad for Tebow. Also, I feel bad for Tebow because I told you all that he was going to play in Major League Baseball this year, and I feel like he would have if he hadn't gotten injured. Finally, I don't know if you guys saw pictures of shirtless Tom Brady. I just took a picture of shirtless Tom Brady, and I got to tell you, I might be in better shape than Tom Brady. I'm not sure that I'm in better shape than Tom Brady, but here is shirtless Tom Brady standing next to Giselle. I got to tell you this right now. Here is shirtless Tom Brady. Do you see shirtless Tom Brady? I'm pretty confident that I'm in better shape than shirtless Tom Brady. This just throws my entire world into an uproar. We knew Brady wasn't very good looking even when he came back out at the combine with the dad bod. He had a dad bod when he was 20. I got to tell you this right now. Have we been totally overrating the athleticism that is necessary to be a quarterback in the NFL? I'm starting to think it's basically the equivalent of being a pitcher in Major League Baseball. It really doesn't matter very much what your athletic condition is. You just got to have a cannon for a right arm. And the arm, I've always said, having a huge arm is the most unbelievably abnormal, random athletic skill to have. Because if you're fast or you can jump high, that translates into a lot of other things. How many dudes just have a cannon for an arm? It's such a random skill and talent to have that I don't even understand how it's, like parceled out. Because you can look at a line of 20 guys and have no idea who has the rocket arm. It might be the same thing with a rocket foot. I'm not sure. Obviously, being bigger and taller helps somewhat, but in general, Tom Brady's just a 6'4" dude. There's tons of 6'4" dudes who can't throw the ball. I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. Anyway, my name is Clay Travis. If you enjoyed the show, share it with your friends. If you're married and you have kids and you're thinking to yourself, oh, I can't wait till I got the whole weekend to myself, I can do anything, you're probably going to do what I did. Get drunk, have an Uber driver take you to get sushi and some random, what's that stuff I also ate? The random, the things for beef jerky. Sushi and beef jerky by yourself at 10 o'clock on Saturday night. I love all of you. My name is Clay Travis. This has been Outkick the Show. If you enjoy it, share it with your friends. We'll be live tomorrow, 6 to 9 a.m. Eastern. And by the way, I'm out all next week because I'm going to Michigan to meet my family. But in the meantime, I'm going to be in D.C. on Wednesday night. I'm speaking on Thursday morning on George Washington University's campus. So I'm out of town for 1 day. Then I'm back. I love all of you. Appreciate it. I am a 484 Uber. I got a 484 Uber rating, which I'm told is like the most average Uber rating ever. Sometimes I leave Uber drivers waiting. I love all of you. Thank you for spending your Monday afternoon with me. I am Clay Travis. This is Outkick the Show. DBAP or SBAP. I'll see y'all.